everyone. I'm Colleen Vanderzyden, and this is Creating an Inspired Life. Thank you so much for watching and listening tonight. I am a medium, and as a medium, I connect in with our loved ones on the other side. And I'm also a certified life coach, which is one of my most favorite things to be, because I get to help people handle their life problems and create the life of their dreams. Now, today's coaching tip is all about a word we use frequently that minimizes who we are. I was in the store last week with a friend of mine, and we were just wandering around, and my friend realized she had a question. So she saw a woman standing over by a table rearranging jewelry, and she walked over and said, "Do you work here? Because I have a question." And the woman responded with, no, I don't work here. I'm just the artist." And what she was doing was rearranging the jewelry she had made. And so she's standing there. We think she works there, but she says she's just the artist. As soon as I heard her say that, I whipped around, turned around and looked at her. And I walked over. I said, "You're not just the artist. You are the artist. You're the awesome person who created this wonderful jewelry. Don't use the word just. Just don't." And she looked at me and I said, "Just say you're the artist or the jeweler." Now, I don't normally walk up to people I don't know and tell them that they're not using powerful words, but this just caught my attention so strongly. And I had to say something to her. The coach just took over within me. Just is a word that minimizes who we are and what we want. It undermines what we're communicating. It doesn't give us strong language. It sounds like we're apologizing for who we are. People will say things like, "I'm just the wife," as though the wife is less important, or that maybe people won't think well of someone if they're just the wife. When someone says that, I wonder, are they not happy or proud to be the wife? "I just want to tell you." How many times do we hear that one? "I just want to tell you." Implies I want to tell you something, but I don't want to be a bother. I hope this doesn't upset you. It's just a little thought I wanted to share, which means you don't stand behind your idea or your thoughts. "It's just my opinion." Yet another one. That means the person you're talking to, you think that they might not think what you're saying is important, or that your opinion isn't in agreement with theirs. So you, in essence, what you're saying is you don't value your own opinion. "I just thought it would be a good idea." Now that's a fun one, because so many people will say, "I just thought it would be a good idea." And they do it with this little cringe, like, "Oh, I did something wrong." That's when something doesn't go well, or we're afraid people will think we're stupid for having an idea. If our idea is rejected, then we feel rejected ourselves. So we sort of apologize with the word "just," because it might soften the blow if they decide to criticize or reject us. "I'm just following up on my email from last week." We don't want to inconvenience anybody. They haven't responded, so it's like we're apologizing for expecting them to respond. But if they were supposed to respond to you, you do not need to apologize for wanting a response. Our word choices are very important, and we just speak and we don't think at all. It becomes a habit. Women in particular have grown up trying to keep other people happy. We don't want to upset anybody, so the words we use tend to be less assertive. We might be insecure, or we're trying to avoid being judged or criticized. So again, we use these words that minimize who we are. Sometimes we do this because we don't want to come across as being too assertive, too confident. It's not the image that people want to see with women sometimes. So it becomes this habit that we just do. It's minimizing everything. In the workplace, when we use the word "just," we come across as being less qualified. We project the idea that we don't believe in ourselves or our expertise. And if we don't believe in ourselves, who's going to believe in ourselves? When we use these minimizing words, we're not speaking our truth. We may not know what our truth is. We haven't figured it out yet. Or maybe we haven't made the commitment to believe in ourselves, to believe and value that what we think and feel is important and worthy. We're not living authentically. We're not owning our power. As I've been thinking about the word "just" for a few days now, I've noticed it everywhere. Even today, I almost said to somebody, "I'm just," and I thought, don't do it. I had to catch myself, Yesterday, I was in the doctor's office and a person said, "This is just my opinion." But as soon as she said the word just, I stopped listening. Subconsciously, I didn't value what she said. If she wasn't going to stand by her opinion, what she believes to be her opinion, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't do it consciously. It just happened. It just happened. It wasn't a conscious decision, but I definitely tuned out. I received an email the other day from the orchestra that I play in, and it started out with, "I'm just writing to tell you," and proceeded to give details about an upcoming rehearsal. It's his job to send us the information, but using the word just made it sound like this information wasn't important, and it really was important. When you become aware of your word choices, you'll begin to see your habits. Just is one of the biggest offenders. If you were to eliminate that word from your conversations, you will be speaking with more conviction. You'll be reclaiming your power. All you have to do is leave it out of the sentences. "I'm the wife" is a totally different attitude than "I'm just the wife." When you say "I'm the wife," you're owning your power. "This is my opinion" is much more confident than "this is just my opinion." "I'm following up on my last email" is more direct than "I'm just following up on my last email." Our words are so important. They create our reality. They create how we experience our lives. If we're using minimizing words, we're diminishing our power. Become aware of the words you use, especially the word just. You'll catch yourself like I did a few minutes ago. It's not rude to be clear in your language. It's not rude to be direct. You don't have to minimize yourself in order to make other people comfortable. So eliminate the word just, and you will be back to owning your power and believing in yourself. And that is my coaching tip of the day. You can connect with me at psychicmediumcolleen.com, as well as on Facebook, Colleen Vanderzyden, medium and intuitive life coach. You'll need the medium and intuitive life coach to find me, unless you want to just be brave and spell Colleen Vanderzyden. That works very well as well. Okay, we will go on to our first caller, who is Jessica from Florida in the United States. Jessica, how are you today? Jessica?
Yeah, we're going to have it.
Hello, how are you today? Jessica?
Come on, Delia. I said yes. We're not turning on every light in the house.
Jessica, I think you're not, I think you might be on mute or something and you don't hear me talking to you. And Jessica, hello. Are you there?
I'm here.
Yes. Hello. How can I help you today?
Hi, Colleen. I just basically, I've been looking for a medium. I'm trying to, I know I can't give you a lot of information. I'm a psychic myself, but unfortunately I can't, pick up on everything. I just want to connect with my cousin, my best cousin that passed away not too long ago. I want to see what you feel if she's around me, and basically that's it. I've been missing her a lot.
Okay. As soon as you started talking, I could feel somebody around you. And interestingly, I do pick up on people's body issues. Would she have had any kind of a body issue that affected her throat or her breathing or anything like this before she passes?
Before her breathing, you said? Or what was the other thing?
Anything, anything with the throat or breathing. I'm getting a lot of pressure in that area.
Before she passed, yeah, she did actually, yes.
Okay. And can you tell me as well,
because she passed away, it was respiratory.
Okay. So. Yeah. Okay. And it's interesting, the energy I get, and I hope this is her because I'm really liking her. So I'll describe her a little bit and let me know if it sounds like her, because the energy I get from her is an active energy. I want to be active. I want to be doing things. I feel a really, I don't know how to put it. I want to say expansive energy with her. There's an energy I like that I feel like it just sends out everywhere. Is she an enthusiastic person or something? Because I just want to throw my arms out.
Yeah, she was. She called herself a witch because we're perceptive. She was also psychic as well. And she was very perceptive and very enthusiastic.
Yeah, I am really liking her energy. I have to tell you, the energy that I'm feeling that's coming in my body, I just feel like I want to go, go, go. And this enthusiasm, this passion for living, and also the enthusiasm and passion she has when she connects with other people is very profound. Because I feel like she's an awesome guide for people, but I feel there's a certain bluntness with her as well. Does she just say whatever comes into her head sometimes? Just get it right out there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I love it. I love it because people know they can trust her because she'll say what she really believes. She's not full of it. She'll say what she really thinks. She'll tell people, she'll call them on things too, and she says that you guys were quite close. She gives me the impression, even though you're cousins, I feel more sisterly and more friends, so I feel a stronger sense of that. And I feel like you did a lot of things together. And I feel like in some ways, you guys feel like two peas in a pod to me, that you have a very similar perspective on life. And I also understand that when you guys would talk, you didn't have to say all the words. You just could look at each other. You know exactly what the other person was thinking. And it's almost as though one of you would have a question in their head and the other person would answer it out loud. You guys you were on such a good wavelength. She's wanting to thank you for everything you've done for her since she passed, because she gives me the impression you have done, it's not just the normal things we do after somebody passes, but she gives me the impression you've done your own things, more like your own processes, your own ceremonies, your own acknowledgments of her that are on the more metaphysical level. Have you been doing things like that?
All the time.
Okay.
Yes, I always honor her. I get their pictures. I always, in every kind of way. I have to talk to her in the daytime, sing to her. Yeah.
Yeah, and she doesn't feel very old to me either. I did not mention that yet. She does not feel very old, and part of it may be the energy that she's bringing through, but she just feels young to me, and I'm loving this so very much. Now, here's a random piece of information coming in. Do you guys have any connection to horses or a farm or something like this with typical farm animals?
No. I really can't. I can't say. Not unless it's something in my future. Who knows? But no, as of now, I got a lot of children, 5 small children by myself. But no, I mean, I don't know. No.
Okay. Just keep that in mind, because I'm getting a very strong impression of a horse. Now, sometimes horse means gambling to me, but it doesn't feel like that right now. Okay, so it feels like a real horse. There's a connection with a horse as well. And when I'm seeing the horse, the reason it's so interesting, the feeling I'm getting, because I get this sense of healing work with horses. And I'm sure you're aware that some people do that. And the sensitivity that also goes with horses. So there's something about, I want to say, animal whispering here. Do you do any healing work yourself?
I've never worked with horses. I worked with animals in my past, but never with large, with horses, just dogs and cats in animal hospitals. That's it.
Okay. So this will be fun to see what happens, because it's so strong that I'm going to stay with it and just know that it's there. It's such a strong feeling. So this will be very interesting. Maybe there's an opportunity coming up for you. She wants me to make sure I mention to you, number one, how much she loves you and how much she's acknowledging the family. I feel like I need to acknowledge a male who is still here, that she wants to acknowledge a male who is still here. Okay. And she wants to say, and I don't know what's going on, if there's a worry about somebody in particular, a male here, but I get the impression that I want to acknowledge that everything's going to be fine, not to worry so much about it. So if there's something going on, take that as some reassurance for what is happening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because they're very loud, my children. Are you telling me that she, my cousin, is acknowledging there's a man around me, that she's worried, or you're, because I couldn't really hear you for that 1 second.
Okay. She's telling me that there's a male here in the physical who people may be concerned about. So something may be happening in his life. or we might be
Mhm.
concerned because of whatever reason. So she's mentioning that to me, and she's giving me the sense of reassurance that it's going to be okay and not to worry about it. Okay. So if anything's going on or if anything starts happening, don't worry about it. Just let it go with the flow. She says you're the kind of person that generally likes to take care of issues and problems. You're not much of one for sitting around waiting for other people to take care of issues for you. You get right to them. So she acknowledges that and gives me the impression that that's a very strong characteristic for you. And it's a very good characteristic for you because it does keep everybody in line. Not to mention, if you have 5 kids, you've got to do that. But I mean, overall, okay? So there is that acknowledgement as well. She's thanking you for so much. I have one more thing I want to say to you before I let you go. I'm feeling as though I want to be writing something. Do you happen to have a letter or a card that has her handwriting on it?
I do have something that has her handwriting on it. Yes.
Okay. Because what I'm doing is I want to be holding it in my hand, just as a further affirmation of the physical connection to her. And she does acknowledge that. And she talks about how, boy, for you, it's so simple because when you talk about her and to her, it's such a big part of your life. It's part of your reality. It's not a big deal. It's like you're still talking to her as though she's here. And she wants me to acknowledge how much she loves that. And she also tells me too that you have had some impressions of her being around you and you've felt her a bit. And she says, yes, that was true. It was true. So if you had one you were doubting, yes, that was true. Okay.
One question. One question. Has she gone to the? Because see, I don't want to let her go. And I spoke to another medium a long time ago, and then she told me to let her go to the light because I want to hold on to her. But has she? Is she still? Is she? Do you feel that she's still in limbo, or has she gone to the light? Because I'm still holding on.
Okay, so my impressions, having talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of spirits over the last however many years, is that spirit goes directly to heaven. They are there immediately. That they can come back and forth as much as they want. They can be in both places at once. That's my philosophy based on my experience talking to various spirits over many years. That they are, in my opinion, they're not stuck in a limbo. That they are there and they can be here. You talking to her and loving her and wanting to be around you is not holding her back from being in the light of heaven. It is not holding her back at all. Okay. Heaven is right around us all the time. It's right next to us. It is not some faraway place. So she's right with you. So that's my belief system. If that feels right to you, you can adopt it as well. But I would not worry about that at all. She can be here as much as you want her to be.
Colleen, I want to tell you something because I shared with you that I'm perceptive as well, and I'm a psychic, and I don't see things. I'm not schizophrenic. However, I have seen spirits. I've seen a little girl in my house. I just moved in, but I saw some very creepy spirits not too long ago. Actually, a few weeks ago, I was on the sofa. I felt like something was looking at me. Sure enough, I saw the image of a person from my hall peeping at me, and when I looked, it was gone. The little girl, I haven't seen her since I've had my house blessed. And I saw, just after I had my house blessed, I saw a form of a person right in front of me, white, but it was a person, and it really startled me. I'm normally not scared of spirits, but my hair stood up. Do you know or have a feeling why these spirits keep coming in front of me? I mean, is it me, or do you think it's my house? Are they connected? Is it something that I'm doing?
Okay. I'm going to stick with you a little bit longer because this is going to be an interesting conversation, I have a feeling. What may be happening is that because you are psychic and you're aware, some people see spirits, some people don't see spirits. Okay, I don't physically see spirits. I'm a feeler, so I don't physically see. I know several mediums who do see. But the reason they may be appearing to you is it may be time, a couple things here, it may be time for you to open up to step more into that mediumship energy. It might be time to connect in with our loved ones on the other side. Now, I personally, again, another one of my belief systems, I do not believe in evil spirits. And I know that goes against quite a few people. Quite a few people believe in evil spirits. I don't. I believe that people here on earth can be evil, but I don't believe their spirit is evil. Okay. Now,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes as well, when you see something, feel something, and it's scary, part of it is, of course, the shock of it. You don't expect to see somebody standing there, so part of it's that. So that can take us aback a little bit until we get used to it. The other thing that could be happening is you might be psychically projecting something, which is interesting. So say you're going through a rough time, or you're scared of something, you might literally somehow be making that energy come out of yourself, and you might see it that way. So that's a thought to think about. I just throw that out there as something to think about. I don't think that's what's happening with you. Now, when you saw something peering at you, that was definitely on the more uncomfortable side, what I would recommend you do is literally set your intention, and I'm sure you've heard of this, making sure there's as much light in your house as possible, saying to spirits, you can be here at this time or that time, or you can tell them to go away. Spirit has to listen to us. So if we say something to them, then their natural law, I guess it is, it dictates they have to follow those directions. Now, when you saw that thing in the hall, what did you do? How did you react?
When I looked, I was in the hallway, the sofa was right in front of the hallway, okay, and it was peeping at me, like its head out of the hallway, and I just looked, and when I looked at it, it was gone, and then I just sat there and thought to myself, I said, what was that?
Yeah.
Who is that?
How interesting. Do you do
Peeping
any
at me,
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Do you do any automatic writing or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay. That might be something, when you're in a good space and it's fairly quiet, maybe after the kids are in bed or something, to sit down and kind of bring that memory back and do some automatic writing on it just to see where it leads you. You just never know where it could take you. You might get some information from that and see. Now, in your house, I'm actually kind of touching into your house right now. As I'm kind of looking at it, okay, there's an area where I feel like it needs more light. Okay, there's a corner where it needs more light on the inside. Is there an area in your house where there's, not a window nearby, a corner or something that's on the darker side?
Yeah, actually, you're right. You're right on that, because the Hurricane Doreen, this was supposed to hit us, and my boards are still in my windows. And right by the hallway connects to my room. So that's kind of where I've seen the activity. The little girl, I've seen her in the living room. Sweet little girl. But the other entities, yes, kind of in that dark, corner of the hallway that connects to my room. There's boards on the windows. Yes, you're right.
Okay. So what I would do in that case, and this is what I would tell one of my clients to do, is I would get a salt lamp. Do you have any salt lamps in your house?
No.
Okay. I would get a salt lamp or two even and put it in that area. I'm assuming you want to leave the boards up a little bit longer just in case another one comes. But I would put those in that area because that clears the energy around. They're not very expensive. They're like $15 or $20 or something. I would get a couple of those. And even stores like Walmart and department stores and things like that have them. And I would put those there. The other thing I would do is do some sage, of course. And I prefer the liquid sage rather than the smoky sage. I get liquid sage instead. It's just easier. And I would do that. The other thing I might do just to clear the space up a little bit would be to play some music in that area, a couple times a day or something that is uplifting, spiritual. It could be something like Jonathan Goldman music. He has a lot of healing music out there, or any of those kinds of new agey kind of music. I would put something like that there, or even some classical music, like Ave Maria. The song Ave Maria is a very powerful vibrational song. something like that.
Yeah,
That would
I
also
know.
help to clear the energy. So that could help as well. So that
Okay.
that could work. Otherwise, I would tell you to just set your intention, clear the house regularly. Just set your intention that the house is clear. You might want to bring in that little girl that you've seen and see if she has a message for you. That might be cool, huh?
Yeah, she was creepy. It's quite something because I didn't tell. I have an older son that's 22, and I didn't tell anyone but my godfather. And he joked. He said, "Ask her for the lottery numbers." And I saw her like 2 times. But she had long brown hair, bangs, and like 3 or 4 years old. I tried to even investigate someone dying in this house. I can't find the records in this house. And my son came in, my older son, and he goes, "Oh my God." When he opened the door, and I said, "What?" And he's like, "Mom, I thought it was one of the kids, one of my sisters. I just saw a little girl." And then I told him, I said, I said, "Gustavo, I've seen her too." So,
oh, that's awesome.
She's real. They did a blessing in my house. I had, the Virgin Mary in my house, and they blessed my house. Not for those reasons, for other reasons.
Perfect.
But I haven't seen her since. But
okay, yeah. So you could get some messages from her. So I unfortunately have to wrap up with you, though, Jessica. But it has been so nice talking to you, and good luck with all of that. I'm sure you're going to have a great time. So thank you so much for calling. It was nice talking to you.
And I want to say thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your insight.
You're welcome.
Okay?
You have a good night. Yes. Bye-bye. And that was Jessica from Florida. And I want to thank you all for watching and listening. I'm Colleen Vanderzyden, and you can connect with me at psychicmediumcolleen.com or on Facebook, Colleen Vanderzyden, medium and intuitive life coach. You have a great week, and I will talk to you next week. Goodbye.